Special delivery is an old post office term that you might say has taken on new meaning in the world of medicine. Many a hopeful couple is taking full advantage. Our cover story is reported by Kelly Wallace.
It's their big night. The race is on. Melissa and Michael Mussman from Brooklyn, New York have rushed to the OSF St. Francis Medical Center in Peoria, Illinois. They're having their first child. And they've barely made it. Only Melissa's not the one giving birth. Tracy is. She's a surrogate. New science and new laws are making for a new day for birth mothers like Tracy. She asked us not to use her last name, and parents like Melissa and Michael, whom we first met 3 weeks earlier.
Just thinking about it now, I get tears in my eyes. It's gonna be a very emotional moment for me, both of us.
A month after their wedding in 2006, Melissa had non-cancerous tumors removed from her pelvis and abdomen. Radiation treatments made her infertile.
How difficult was it when you learned you wouldn't be able to have a baby yourself?
In the beginning, it was difficult because every little girl dreams of getting married and having a baby.
But before the surgery, Melissa saved one of her eggs. So with Michael's sperm, the Mussmans could create an embryo through in vitro fertilization, a test tube baby. But they still needed a willing woman and her healthy womb to do the rest.
So Melissa, how many people do you have working here?
14.
New Jersey lawyer Melissa Brisman found the surrogate mother for the Mussmans.
Is it like a dating service?
It is like a dating service, and both people can say no. Just like
She's a leading matchmaker, connecting surrogates with people who can't have children themselves.
Well, these are the intended parent coordinators sit here.
What does that mean, intended parent coordinators?
They call the clients, and they go over what the clients are looking for in their carrier. We're really trying to hit people who are 26 to 42, who have given birth before, who like being pregnant, who want to help a couple, and certainly, don't mind making some extra money doing it.
Surrogacy today is a far cry from the late 80s when Americans were gripped by the Baby M case. Mary Beth Whitehead agreed to carry a baby for a New Jersey couple using the father's sperm and her egg, which meant Whitehead was the baby's biological mother.
I'm the one that went the 9 months. I've given this baby life.
After giving birth, she wanted to keep the baby. The highly publicized court battle ended with Whitehead losing custody, but she was given visitation rights.
Here, sit down.
Today, attorneys like Melissa Brisman, herself the mother of 3 children born through surrogacy, create contracts that are airtight.
You need me to sign those?
Assuring that the baby's carrier is simply that, a body with a uterus, no genetic ties to the baby.
We have never had a carrier that we found and screened actually want to keep the baby.
It was always on my mind that I wanted to do something like this, but I really...
Surrogates today are more like Gina Scanlon and Jennifer, again, first name only, both from the Pittsburgh area.
I've always been curious.
Scanlon, 42 years old, is a portrait painter and mother of 3.
These are the girls I delivered.
She delivered twins as a surrogate 2 years ago, and now, in part because her husband Brian needs expensive surgery, Scanlon is pregnant again. In contrast, this is Jennifer's first try as a surrogate. She's a 36-year-old stay-at-home mother of 2.
Being a mother, I can't imagine life without my children. And so, it really came to the fact that I would really like to help another couple have a child that they otherwise could not.
And what about you, Gina? What do you think is inside of you that said, I want to be a surrogate?
I love being pregnant. It's a great experience. And having met friends and family who have experienced infertility, their choices are limited. I felt that I wanted to do this for someone else.
Did you ever worry, first time, that you would not want to give up those babies?
It was never something that entered my mind.
Never at all?
No. And you go into it with the thought that you're doing this for someone else. It is not your baby to give up. It's their baby from the start. And the end is the reward. The end is being able to deliver this baby and turn it over to the parents and see they've been waiting for years for this to happen. And it finally happens where they're holding their own child, and it's so worth it.
These are the twins she delivered, and these are their parents. Tom Pistula and Jeffrey Liu of New Jersey. Tom is a college professor, Jeffrey an accountant. Iris and Ivory were conceived with an egg provided by an egg bank and sperm supplied by Jeffrey.
What were you looking for in that surrogate?
A woman who I thought was emotionally secure enough to give up the children and to to be able to handle that process.
They say they want the twins to call Gina Auntie.
What do they mean to you, Iris and Ivory?
They are my world.
You can't imagine not having
No,
them.
I just can't imagine without them, how the life would be.
Paying a surrogate remains illegal in several parts of the United States. It's also against the law in most of Europe, which is why Sylvia and Michaela came all the way from Italy to the La Jolla IVF clinic in California.
You have two absolutely textbook beautiful blastocyst staged embryos, okay? And these are the two that we would like to place.
Sylvia lost her uterus and almost her life after a miscarriage. The couple watched as embryos created through his sperm and her eggs were placed inside the body of a 30-year-old surrogate, a woman they'd earlier communicated with from afar but never before met. The process took just minutes.
It's inconceivable to have done this maybe 30 years ago.
A few weeks later, they will learn the procedure was a success, and it's twins.
It's a miracle.
The miracle has a high price. The fee for the entire surrogacy process ranges from $80,000 to well over $100,000. Of that, doctors get $9,000 to $15,000, agencies $15,000 to $20,000, and the surrogates? First-timers get $18,000 to $25,000, experienced surrogates up to $40,000. And in this tough economy, applications from potential surrogates are escalating. Still, Brisman says of the 100 to 200 applications received every week, she only accepts about 5 to 10.
First, when people see an ad, become a surrogate mother, they think they're just going to show up, get pregnant, and get all this money. And once they actually fill out the application and become interviewed, they actually understand what it means. And only the ones who have some altruistic nature are the ones who are really going to make it because nobody else would do it.
Some criticism, some feminists who say, this is like wombs for rent, mothers for hire. It's like prostituting yourself. What's your reaction to that?
It's kind of offensive.
It's insulting.
I was going to say,
what does it make you angry when you hear something like that?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a service that you're providing, if you want to think of it that way, more than it's an exploitation of your body. You're not selling your body.
All the same, surrogacy remains an act raising questions about our whole notion of motherhood, that unmistakable bond between mother and child.
The definition of motherhood is changing over time. Like, it's not necessarily the woman who gives birth who is the mother. That's very hard for people to accept. And I think in a few years, or maybe 10 years, this is just going to be old news.
Back in Peoria, Melissa and Michael Mussman's world is about to change forever.
It's a little boy.
Michael can't hide his delight. As for Melissa, she can't keep off the phone.
You hear him?
Overwhelmed with joy, happy. I just want to thank Tracy for everything that she did for us.
And Tracy, who's now very much in the background, just doesn't want to cry.
I'm ecstatic for them because this is a great gift for them to have, and I got to be a part of that, and it makes me really happy and joyful to know that I could make someone else's life so happy.
The happiest gift of all, the gift of life.
tonight. Yeah.